Hey family, come on in. This is a little different. This is going to be a real short scout, my darlings. I hope life is treating you kind and the day has gotten away from me. Was with my friend all day and let me see who's coming in. Trying to get a little dinner ready. Had to send hubby out real quick for something to help me out here because I didn't have everything I needed. And I just want to say welcome. I hope life is treating you kind. Thank you for your prayers, all of you who are praying for my girlfriend. I really appreciate you. To God be the glory. So this is going to be our version of the word of the day today. I did choose a word. Let me introduce myself for those who don't know me. Oh, where's my... Okay, hang on here. Try to make sure I don't burn myself. I'm in the kitchen. My name is Darissa. I am the CEO and founder of God's Chosen Vessels. I am also the creator of Embrace Formula. And yeah, this is the word of the day. So I'm trying to multitask here. We're gonna see how efficient I can be before he comes in with what I need to add to this. It's gonna be a real quick dinner. Hey, how you doing? Is it Mushadi? Let me see. I don't want to mess it up. But thank you for joining. If you're not already following me, you probably won't know that this is not usual. You have probably never seen my kitchen before. So anyway, I'm in the kitchen today. I have a friend who's really going through some tough times. So I've been at the hospital with her. She's battling a life-threatening disease. And so with that said, I'm going to share with you the word of the day. And I chose this word instead of, we usually pick words blindly. The word of the day is basically a perception exercise. It's not to take the place of your devotion time or your prayer time or anything like that. We're not trying to interfere with that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to enhance our lives because we want to start seeing our life the way God sees our lives. It's a beautiful masterpiece. It's beautifully orchestrated by the Creator himself. Nothing catches him by surprise. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing. So it might catch us by surprise. You know, things just happen out the blue that throw us off our game because that's what the enemy does. He's trying to throw you off your game. He wants to distract you and keep your eyes off of the blessings that God has for you and the beautiful place he's trying to take you with your purpose. So with that in mind, the perception exercise is something that we practice to try to help us change our perception of things that come our way that might not feel comfortable, that might not feel just, that might not make us feel like we're loved. Hey, baby girl, I see my daughter coming in. So yeah, this is different today, baby. So I'm here in the kitchen. I'm going to give a quick word of the day because, you know, I try every day to practice having a servant's heart. And like I said, the day is really gone. Hey, sweetheart, I love you. The word of the day I picked is alone. Alone. And I chose that word because when someone reaches out to you and says to you, I'm on my deathbed, and they choose you, it is your responsibility to hit the floor running, especially as a believer. Hey, Diane. You did a wonderful job, sis. I saw you. I set my timer. I was there. I was in the house. Wonderful job. Thank you for inviting your followers. So the word is alone. You grab your keys and you get there the best way you can. And you thank God for the opportunity. You're welcome, sis. You thank God for the opportunity. Hey, Tiff. You thank Him for the opportunity to be able to be there with a person, to hold their hand, to encourage them. And to be that other voice when the enemy, hey sis, I'm so happy to see you, it's been a while. You want to be the other voice. You know, the enemy uses times, especially when he's being allowed to attack our bodies. When he is being allowed to attack our bodies, because we're down on our back, you know, it's easier to be distracted and just listen to his voice a little too long. So he'll tell you that you're not going to get through this. He'll tell you that your days are numbered. He'll tell you that, you know, that God that you serve has no power. Because see what he let happen to you? You know what I'm saying? And you love him and he did this. It's been a minute. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And thank you, sis. I appreciate you. You've been going, you too. I'm talking right now about a friend of mine who literally called me. Her exact words, Tiff, were, Drissa, I need you. I'm on my deathbed. I thought she was putting 5s and 10s on it till I got there. And she isn't. But, you know, we serve a God who has the last say. I thank God for the doctors and the money and the time and their sacrifices for learning what they know. But even on their best day, they don't trump my God, who made us, who created us, who knows every hair on our head. So with that in mind, as a believer, when you get that call, when you get, or just someone who just says, can you spare a little change to give me something to eat? Whatever the mission is that is set before you, do you rise up to the occasion? Do you think twice about it? Do you think about the fact that that person should not be alone in their time of need? That's why I chose this word, because there's a reason why it was brought to you. It was a reason why I got the phone call. There's a reason why you go down a certain street. You better say it again. But for real, there's nobody greater. And the thing is, there's a reason why you went down a certain street and saw a certain person that was looking for something to eat. There's a reason why you were in the store and you walked down the aisle, because I've had this happen before. You just happened to walk down the aisle in time to see a young woman basically pinching her pennies, trying to calculate in her head what she can afford, what she had to put back on the shelf. Come on, somebody. I know we've been there. I know you've been there. I know you've been there. So, you know, that's not an accident. So are you going to leave that person alone? Or are you going to go ahead and say, well, you know, I don't want to make them feel bad? Okay, there's a way you can do it, because I guarantee you, if God placed you in that situation, he's going to make a way for you to approach that person. It's not going to offend. If anything, you're going to make them start running up and down that aisle shouting, because they probably just said a prayer, Lord, send somebody, or God, help me, or Lord, give me extra 20 cents, or whatever the need is, and then you pop up. You think they're not going to see that as an answer to their prayer? It's not a coincidence. So you know, like I said, you guys, what am I saying? My word today kind of hits home, because, you know, around here in this particular situation, you know, we down to one car. So when baby's gone to work, you know, y'all know I'm here at the house anyway. So I can pray, of course, you know. But for me, I'm the kind of person, I like to be there. I'm a hands-on kind of girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm that hands-on chick. So, you know, once the Lord quickens my spirit, I just can't sit here. I just can't do it. I'll sit here and just go cuckoo. So, you know, my prayer, I don't know how God has wired you. He knows what's best. But my prayer is always that everybody has that something deposited in him, that God give him a little bit of that thing that he gave me that just won't let you sleep when there's a need. It just won't let you go on about your business. Just won't let you go on about your everyday. No, too late. You've been put on notice. Once that thing has come into your atmosphere, up into your space, and you know about it, my prayer is that you can't sleep until you do whatever it is you can do to help, to not leave that person in that situation. Where's it at? Alone. Nobody wants to be left alone. Nobody wants to feel alone. Nobody wants to feel like they by themselves in their time of need. And it ain't always got to do with money, y'all. You know, that's not always the case. That's not always the case, you know. So my prayer is, as believers, because right now who I see in the room, I know we all are. Now, there might be a couple of them snuck up in here and they're not. And I pray you get to knowing, because I got a friend, y'all. I got a friend, you know, and Jesus ain't no joke. Y'all heard him, put him up in your mix. If he ain't in your mix, put him up in your mix. Your life will never be the same. I guarantee that. But I'm just saying, you know, to get to the point where you have a servant's heart. If you already wasn't wired like that, it's a beautiful prayer. It's a beautiful prayer to ask God to give you a servant's heart, you know, to be a doer. As much as he's done for us, he does for us every day, starting with that breath that you just took, like a split second ago. You know, you didn't do that on your own. The fact that you holding a cell phone in your hand and looking at me, as opposed to calling 911 because you're feeling something in your chest, you know, in your head. You know, I mean, there's just so many ways. I mean, and people say that's extreme. No, it's not extreme. It is what it is. We are not here. We do not exist by our own might. And we got to get up out of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to get up out of ourselves and stop taking stuff for granted. You know, and like my sister Tiff, I'm praying for you, sis. Because see, when you say you're going through, I hear you. I hear you. That did not go over my head. You know, so it's my job as your sister to make sure I speak your name out loud so he can hear me. Not so you ain't just sitting where you sitting saying, Lord, I need you in this situation. I'm over here, Lord, my sister's calling you. She calling you. Let me remind you what you said about her, that she's more than a conqueror. You said that you would never leave us, forsake us. That means her too. So Tiffany, you see what I'm saying? So I understand, sweetheart. I understand. I totally get that. And so there's no reason. Satan will have you thinking that you are alone. Satan will, because that is a personal thing. You know, so I understand that on that level. That is a personal thing. I get that. But what I'm saying, but as your sister, it's my job if you're weak, if you have moments of weakness, because I can't be there to watch you 24/7. So I can just imagine what it feels like. So it's my job. And as the older sister who done lived a little bit longer than you, I got sense enough to know, okay, she needs some backup. She needs some prayer warriors. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, right. And so Satan is going to try to get in your ear every opportunity he gets. And so it's like, okay, Lord, she might be a little weak today. I don't know what's going on. So can you dispatch a couple of angels? Just two. One sit on the right, one on the left. If you want to dispatch a couple of extras for the back and front, that's cool too. But can you just cover her like that? Because right now I sense she needs me. That's what we supposed to do as believers. It don't take long. It don't take much. It don't take money. It's a prayer. It's a prayer. You see what I'm saying? And so there's no reason for our family. And when I say family, I'm talking about those of us who are part of the kingdom, those of us who claim we are children of God, which makes us all relatives. You see what I'm saying? So we cover each other, especially when the other one is weak. And you know, God is faithful. He's faithful. And it's so easy when you're going in time of trouble to get kind of caught up in that thing. Again, we human. We ain't going to be perfect. So we supposed to, what is the scripture? I don't have the other, the other phone with me. It's in the room. Anyway, but there's a phone that says, prayers of the righteous availeth much. I think that's, because I do not like misquoting the scripture. But the bottom line is we'll be heard. Y'all, I'm sweating like a penny. Because I got this heat going on. So y'all please pray for a girl. But I'm just saying, you know, we are to stand in the gap for each other. You don't have to know the details. Our God knows the details. Knows the details. So yeah, I've been missing you, Tiff. But just know that, you know, I think about you, and you are in my prayers. And so, like I said, it doesn't. That's that love thing, y'all. That love thing will not let you continue to let a person feel alone in a situation. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. See, where I'm weak, my sisters are strong. I appreciate you, because that's exactly the word I was thinking about. Thank you. I know what you're saying. I got you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See, this is what I'm talking about, you know. And I believe, you know, as kingdom builders and kingdom citizens, you know, it's life can be a trip. That's the bottom line. Life can be a trip, but at the same time, because we are believers and because we are followers of Jesus Christ, life can be so beautiful if we let it and depend on him and trust on him. And in those times when we are weak, just knowing that we got a brother or sister who is standing in the gap for us. We're not alone. We're never alone anyway. But when you got that tangible, not tangible, what I'm saying, but you got the evidence of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the evidence can be nice. I mean, because God has given us evidence like I said, every single day we wake up. There's the evidence that he loves us because he woke us up. He continues to bless us even when we don't deserve it. That's a given. That's a fact. But so the extra gravy on that thing is when our horizontals. I start telling you, I told y'all what the horizontals are. The horizontals, you know, that's them people, that's you and me and the neighbor, the horizontals. When your horizontals are standing there linked arm with you, standing with you, doing like Aaron and Miriam did for Moses. Hey, Gene, you know, when he got weak and couldn't hold that arm up, they got up next to Brother Moses. They helped him keep that staff up in the air. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody lifting you, somebody to your right, to your left, holding you up and standing in the gap for you. Ain't nothing like that. That's what Kingdom Family is all about. What's up? Praise Igniter. I like that. That's what Kingdom Family is about. That's what it's about, y'all. So today has been, I'm going to give all glory and praise to God, because I know the battle is not over. And I know that the fight is his. And I know that my girl's going to be okay. Whether it's, if the Lord chooses it to be here in this physical body or not, because she's a believer. I've heard her accept Christ with my own ears. Ain't nothing more beautiful than that, y'all. Ain't nothing more beautiful than that. So, you know, God is in the midst. We're never alone, because that's right. He's everywhere we are, and he's there before we get there. How about that, Diana? He's there before we get there. He's there before we even know there's a problem. He's already in the midst. He already in the midst. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love. He's what is the word? He's omnipotent. You know what I'm saying? He's omnipotent. He's all-knowing. He's everywhere. So we can't, you know, the old OGs used to say, you can't beat God-given, no matter how hard you try. So I don't care what we do. I don't care what we say. I don't care how good we think we are. It's a beautiful thing to try to be Christ-like, because that's what we're supposed to do as Christians. That's what it means. You know, we pattern ourselves after our Father. What he did, it's like Simon said. You know, he moved. What is that, Simon? Yeah, Simon says when he moved right, we move right. If he moved left, we supposed to move left. If he sat down on a Thursday, then I guess somewhere we need to be sitting down on a Thursday. Whatever he did, that's what we're supposed to be doing, because we're supposed to resemble our Father. Okay, so you know, if he just went about doing good when he was on this planet, that's what we're supposed to be doing. It doesn't mean we're gonna be perfect like him, because there was only one that was perfect. That job, that position was filled. Okay, but we're supposed to resemble our lives as evidence to everybody else that we belong to him. When we walk into a room, the whole atmosphere is supposed to shift, because we stepped up in the club. You see what I'm saying? So if that's not happening, then you need to, you know, look in the mirror and say, you know, how you living, dog? You know, check yourself. What's really going on? Only in Christ are we perfect. I say it's a beautiful thing to say that we belong to him and that he belongs to us. But make sure that when you say that thing, you know, you represent him. You know what I'm saying? You ain't walking around here talking about he is mine and mine is his and his alone, and you out here doing what everybody else do. But that's another scope. I'm just saying. So, you know, to keep it home. Hey, and Gene, our word today, like I said, I'm on a tight schedule because baby will be home back. He'll be back in a minute. Is alone. Kind of dabbed a little bit about my girlfriend. You know, just she's fighting a good fight. So not wanting her to be alone, and then what it's like to be a believer when you see a need. Do you leave that person just out on, you know, just floating adrift on that driftwood by themselves, or do you spring into action to try to do something, even if it's just an encouraging word? It's not always about money. An encouraging word goes a long way to somebody who's alone and don't have anybody, ain't had an encouraging word in many moons. They go home by themselves. They have it's him and the enemy, so all they get to do is listen to what the enemy is putting in their ear. So it ain't nothing on this side counteracting that mess. So are you to counterattack? You know what I'm saying? You know, so like I said, that positive word, that motivation, that hug, that smile, that you're gonna be all right. That eye to eye, I don't care what it look like, you gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just that alone can shift a whole person's lonely mindset. Yes, a hole in their head. Yeah, the power of touch is crazy. And the evidence of that is that woman laying up in there in that bed in less than what? In a little over a month, in a week, she'll be in hospice for 3 years. Who do that? Joe Francis. The power of touch. The power of touch is mighty. The power of touch is mighty. That's a beautiful gift that God gave us. because Jesus walked around touching folks, touching and healing. And his touch was so mighty, he could just touch with his voice. He could just speak life. He didn't have to even be in the room with whoever it was that was ailing or dead, and they would spring back. You see what I'm saying? It's a powerful thing, y'all. Speaking life into a person. The word says the power of life and death is in the tongue. So yes, speaking a good word can do wonders, work miracles. You understand what I'm saying? So you keep that in mind when you remind yourself, to God be the glory, whose you are, not who you are, because that really don't mount to a hill of beans. Whose you are is what's important. You are a child of the Most High God. Period. You can't trump that, boo. You can't trump that. You just can't. I like to say I'm employed by the creator of the universe himself. Who your boss? I'm just saying. So when he gives you an assignment, when he causes that person to bring you back, I haven't seen my little sis in a minute. She came in here right on time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we link arms. Believers, we link arms. And I mean that, in, you know, figuratively, but we pray for one each other. We hold each other up. We got women on here who have businesses. So we pray that Almighty God blesses that thing. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this as a side note. Y'all get up in the morning and y'all speak life into them businesses. And just like I was taught to do, when we have babies in our family, we give them back to God. That's what we do. This is what we do. So I'm going to say in the sense that this business is your baby. Get that thing back to God. When he gives you, he deposits that idea into you. And I know I'm digressing all over the place, but that's all right. Y'all stick with me. I just feel like talking today. You know, when he deposits that thing in you, yeah, there you go. That's I think over in Romans we talk about and then also the gifts too. It takes all of us. That one body. Everybody got a different gift. Everybody does a different thing. The right hand don't try to do what the left toe is doing. That ear ain't all up in the nose's business. You understand what I'm saying? Everything got to function. And it works beautifully together as the body of Christ. That's what I'm saying. So that's with us. You see what I'm saying? So the beauty in this is what I'm saying. When you have your business, don't say, well, what does that have to do with God? It has everything to do with God. You don't know how that thing is going to be used. I was listening to, I don't know if y'all know brother Pastor John Gray. He's associate pastor at Lakewood, and Pastor Osteen, who's my pretend. He don't know he my pastor. Amen, sis. Amen, Tiffany. I saw he and his wife last night. Her name is it Avery? I think it's Avery. I always mispronounce. I think her name is Avery. And she was talking about she's got 3 degrees. Oh yeah, Brother John. I keep saying he's my kindred because when I see him, he's talking, I'm finishing his sentences. It's crazy. It's like I said that. He's been talking a lot about perception lately. I said, get up out my diary. Anybody told you to go there? It's just so. And just last night he was talking about perception, and he was talking. The number he talks about, the number 8. I don't know if you guys don't have the book. It's awesome. Get I am number 8. And if you know me, I always talk about the number 8 because that's my favorite number because it is new beginnings. He talks about 7, which is the number of completion. And I'm like, he just reading my story, And I'm like, this is crazy. If you want it for a small donation and they don't put a number on it, because I ordered one for my husband and for my son, it's somebody put this in the thing real quick. It's tbn.org/number. And for a donation of any amount, you can get his new book. I just did it last night. So that's a freebie. I mean, that's a freebie because that book is awesome. But so yeah, tbn.org/numbers. I don't remember, it's numbers or number. Yeah, number, not with a, yeah, that's it. There you go. So y'all go and get that book. I'm telling you, it reads the way Brother John talks. So you're going to love it. It's an easy read. It really is. I got the audio already, so I'm getting them the book. But anyway, and there's no shipping and handling. So whatever you donate is what you get in the book for. Anyway, so what I was saying is, she was talking about how she's got 3 degrees. Well, he was really talking about how she compliments him. And she was talking about how, when they got married, she didn't think that she would be able to use her degrees. Now, this is how God works. So since they've been married, I think she's at 6 years now, they have a little boy and a little girl. And the little boy has some type of sleep apnea. And so does Brother John. He had gone undiagnosed. So it wasn't until after they got married, and she's sleeping, he was snoring so loud. And she was the one that diagnosed him. She was the one. And it turned out that his oxygen level was just so incredibly low. It was like a wonder that this man's still walking around. So he's got to lose the weight and all that he was saying. But the diagnosis was not there. So then here comes the son. The son is born, and she's the one that diagnosed the baby. So she took him to the doctor. The doctor's basically telling her she don't know what she's talking about, but she stayed on it. So it turned out that he ended up having the same thing his dad had. And with him being so little, his oxygen was worse than his father. So the long story, the moral of the story is she always prayed to God because she loved the medical field. She loved helping. She has a servant's heart. And she was really committed to her husband and his ministry. So she kind of put that on the back burner because she doesn't work in the hospital, because she was working in the hospital the whole nine. And she's like, well, Lord, how am I going to use this? So it's funny how God put her in a situation where she still uses the gifts, the education, the passion for what she loves to do in her own home. In her own home. Diagnosed basically her husband and her son herself. And so I'm saying your business might not be looking the way you want it to look. It does. All things work together for our good. Come on now. So he's very strategic. I love to say our life is a beautiful orchestrated mess sometimes, but it's beautiful. It's crazy. But God, you get to the point where you just get fascinated when you see things kind of just all over the place. Don't panic. Don't start talking crazy. Sit there and just be in awe. Because when you start looking like this, that's when you know he up to something. He up to something. He finna do something. It's going to be pow. It's going to be crazy. Voila. Voila. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to take that thing. When he makes it clear to you that he's dropping something in your spirit. I think that was Brother Steve Harvey that was the first one. Everybody says it now. I know Donnell Whittingham says it. I know I've heard Bishop Jake say it. But I believe the credit goes to Mr. Steve Harvey, and Brother Steve is the one that success leaves clues. I like to say your purpose leaves clues. You don't know what you're on here for. Ask God to give you a hint, to reveal that thing to you, and he will. And I found that it's usually when you start going back into the archives of your mind, of the things that just made you tick, the things that made you pop, the things that get you excited, the things ain't nobody got to pay you for. They're clues to what he's wired you to do in this life, okay? And once he gets to the point where he drops that thing in your spirit and say you do start a business, say if it's a business kind of thing, give it to him immediately. You ain't trying to figure that thing out. Why waste time trying to tweak it to what you think it should be? Because you don't know the final outcome. Why not give it back to the orchestrator? Why not give it to the one who dropped the seed in you in the first place from the gate? Lord, this thing that you're giving me, I'm giving it back to you. I want you to be the CEO, and tell me what the game plan is. He's going to bring the right people into your life. I know I found in this whole Periscope game, just every day I listen to somebody and they'll drop a nugget. Hey there, Tashawn, nice to see you, bro. What's up, little brother? And it might be somebody I've never heard before. And I'll catch it right when they say, oh yeah, so I use so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, let me check that out. And I'll go and it's exactly what I need for the nugget that he dropped in my spirit, say 3 days ago, and I just wrote it down. I said, I'll get to that when I can figure out what to do with it, because I didn't know, but I didn't want to forget it. So I write it down. So then I run up on this person who I know it wasn't an accident, and what they said goes exactly with what I wrote down. It's like, okay, that's going to work perfect for that. This is what he'll do. It's mind-blowing. I got to the point where I don't even worry about it. When he drops something in my spirit and I know I'm not equipped right there that moment to act on it, I write it down because I know it's just going to be a matter of time before he bring that thing to me. It's so simple, but you got to stay connected. You got to ask him. He'll do it. He will do it. He ain't no joke. He ain't no joke, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't be stressing, because if he gave you a vision, he's going to make provision. I guarantee that. Our God is something else. Our God is something else. I thank y'all for coming in with me. I'm almost finished with this little dish here I'm throwing together. I'm also trying to cook because I'm on a cleanse, so it's smelling real good. I'm getting real tempted right about now, but that's okay. I'm gonna do this. Y'all pray for me as I watch everybody else lick their lips. Wait a minute. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to get sexy by summer. It's all right. I got some things I need to share. I got a class reunion coming up. I got a reputation. I'm fabulous. I can't go in there looking foo-foo. I just can't do it. It gets my religion. I'm just saying. I love y'all. I'm so thankful that you came in. One more time, go and invite those followers if you don't mind. If you're not following me, then go ahead and follow me. Your girl usually doesn't come in here and hook it up like this, but hey, we family, right? I love y'all. And a thing you can do about it. I see you, Gene. Ain't a thing y'all can do about it. I really do. I love you. I really do. I hope life is treating you kind. Have a wonderful evening. I encourage you to embrace your life and purpose. Cherish your time with those you love. Those you love. God woke us up this morning, giving us another chance to get it right. Don't blow it. Go on and help somebody out. Make sure ain't nobody in your circle feeling alone. Ask the Lord to help you see beyond the mask. 'Cause sometimes people wear, I'm fine. Ask the Lord to give you some discernment and some wisdom to see beyond that. You understand what I'm saying? I love y'all. Love you, Gene. I see you. I see you. All right, y'all. Peace out.